Guys, deluded Gooner, what a week in the Premier League it's been. If you're an Arsenal fan like myself, it's been stress and yeah, it's typical Arsenal fashion after the international break to go and do things like this. And all you other fans that don't support us, like my friends that are currently getting at me again, your happy days. You knew this was coming. Like regardless of your Chelsea that lost to Palace, if you're Liverpool, United that dropped points that they argue for various reasons according to the club that you should have, that you support, that you could have won. If you Spurs again, they won 1-0 or whatever against Bournemouth and they felt they could have scored a bit more. But regardless of your problem, even if you're down to Hammers fans where your striker Andy Carroll was doing that nonsense and you arguably dropped points, don't matter what club you support. Or Palace, before I carry on, or Palace, 1-win Premier League season. Doesn't matter what problems your team's going for, you're linking up to laugh at my club. Sadly, I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do. From top to bottom, my club is not on stuff. I don't work for my club, and I'm just a simple man who likes football. But I've been delaying stars of the week. Let's get into it now. I'm back to, unlike my manager at the club I support, 4 players in the back four, back 5, including the keeper. No secrets. De Gea. Now, there was a couple other keepers. Loris made a bad boy save against Bournemouth. But because of the game, the context, how United were playing, and they could have lost that game. Like, did you see the saves? A couple saves, there weren't many, but a couple saves De Gea. Well, there was a lot, but there weren't many like these saves I'm talking about. De Gea's got the best reactions out of most keepers in the world, to be honest. Only Neuer can claim to have it ahead of him. Can claim some keepers are better than De Gea. I won't believe it, to a degree, unless it's Courtois. But yeah, that's for another day. But yeah, De Gea done his thing, man. He's got to be there. Kyle Walker. You saw what City did. Every player, I could arguably this should all be just City players. Kyle Walker's got to be there. I was impressed. Joe Gomez, I was impressed. Was it against us or someone else? He's impressed me this season. I mentioned it in a video. I can't remember, but he's impressed me this year. Being made captain of the under-21s. Yeah, man. Youngsters can always get ripped and overruled with big games like this, much less United versus Liverpool. And he stood up to be counted and got man of the match on Sky Sports. Not that I like listening to them and take their opinions for gospel, but you get the point. Him. Now, next to him, I can't make up my mind. It's a toss-up. I know Arsenal got destroyed, but Koscielny prior to the injury was there for me. And you can argue Toby Alderweireld for Spurs. I know it's Bournemouth, but they were troubled a bit, and Toby just showed why he's Toby, one of the best centre halves in the Premier League. So I believe he's there. A couple other men could have been there, but for me, that's that. He's not a left back, but I've got to put Sacco there now. He had a good game against Chelsea. He helped them. He helped them weather the storm and defend well along with Dan. Of course, you saw an incident on Match of the Day where he tried to, I don't know why, but tried to backheel it in his own goal area, and yeah, he would have easily went from start of the week to dud of the week if that happened. But other than that, he done his thing. Midfield, 4-3-3. 3 midfielders, 10 roll, Kevin De Bruyne, everything ran through him. The passes. The only thing he missed from that game was a goal, man. If Kevin had scored, it would have been the most perfect of games. Everything ran through him. The assist. He's a lovely footballer, and I hope Ozil took note and saw, man. I know Ozil's getting dug out. I'm not one to dig Ozil out, but you see what happens when you take games by the scruff of its neck. We know Ozil's not that player, but neither is Kevin De Bruyne by any stretch of the imagination. But he stood up to be counted. Fernandinho. He's been. Do you know what? I put him on the basis that again, I could have been whole 11 could have been City, but he stood up to be counted. There's been a couple times he's been knocking on the door to be in my stars of the week, but I've given it to the more glamorous centre mids, and he's been brilliant. I was gonna put Yaya in this as well, to be honest, because he was decent when he came on, but Fernandinho, and what a goal he scored as well. There's no picking that out. He had no right. Keep that up, man, and we're gonna win the 2018 World Cup, Brazil, man. Eriksen's got to be there as well. I love Eriksen. You guys love. I love me a bit of Eriksen. Scored a lovely goal. He probably should have scored more in that game. Could have played a bit better, but I think he was one of the better players of Spurs, and he did just enough to be here. Now, on the right-hand side, obviously because Eriksen's in the middle, I put Coutinho. He didn't score, he didn't assist. It was 0-0, but he looked threatening. He just really looked good, and he really looks up for the Premier League since the whole Barcelona nonsense. Since he's literally came back against Leicester, he's been on it, and he was unlucky not to score. His Liverpool teammate Salah really should have scored, but yeah, Darmian on toast, man. Darmian should have really, yeah, man. Darmian's gonna have nightmares. He was just skinning him, and he really should have scored and done better with a couple of opportunities. But he's got to be there up front. I'm going with Gab Jesus, to be honest with you. He's like Fernandinho again, and I know it looks like I got biased to Brazil, but he's been knocking on the door to be in my team. And if it hasn't been Kane, Morata, Lukaku, I'm not even been Lacazette. He ain't been shooting off the skeng like that. But yeah, they've been overshadowing him. So this is the perfect chance with all of them having arguably stinkers. So he's there. Special shout-outs have to go to Sterling, Sane, Zaha, Goodmanson of Burnley, Wood of Burnley, Richarlison of Watford, Deeney of Watford, David Silva, Bernardo Silva for the agenda. Bakayoko of Chelsea, I believe, even though they were poor, him as well. Tammy Abraham. There were a couple other guys that played decent here and there, but these are the ones I can remember, guys. Dilly Laguna, Stars of the Week. I'm signing out. Thank you very much.